Hi everybody, welcome back to the Academy Express. Today I'm going to be going over two different looks. One would be a braid set that would stay in for a day or two, and the second would be the rake out of the set. You'll rake it out with your fingers to create a really beautiful, beachy, very sexy look. So the name of this course is Take Me to a Virtual Festival. And I have to admit to you that when they were asking me to name these courses, I was being a bit cheeky with the name on this one, because I was thinking to myself, there's no way 6 weeks out that we're still going to be in this situation. Well, the joke is on me, because we are. And I'm very sorry, because I think that I might have jinxed us, because I do believe that we could be going to virtual festivals for some time now, and I'm very sorry for that. But you're gonna learn two cool looks with the set and the rake out. So let's get to it. The tools that you're going to need are very basic, because this is no electricity is needed. You're going to need small elastic bands, a comb, and a minimum of 6 clips. I love using clips when I'm styling hair, so if you're a clip junkie like me, the more the merrier. If not, about 6 will do it for you. Okay, the products that I'm going to use are the Marine Thickening Balm and our setting spray from Accrue, New York. The reason that I'm going to be using those two while I'm braiding is because the Marine Thickening Balm is amazing for thickening hair, right? So what's the best part about proper beachy hair? Not the curling iron, very pretty, brushed out look. I'm talking about proper beachy hair. Right? It's thick, it's clumpy. That's really what the Marine Thickening Balm is going to do. The setting spray is going to act as my spray gel. It's going to add a ton of shine, a really great hold. It's not going to flake at all, and it will keep that shape that the set is going to put in for a few days if she wants. Okay, so before we start to put the product in, we need to section the hair. We're going to take a radial from ear to ear. That radial will go just behind the ear on each side. Then we're going to take a side part. We're going to start from the top of the head, and we're going to work diagonally, just a little off-center, nothing too dramatic. And before we move on to the final sectioning in the back, we want to apply our product. So I'm going to work with our Marine Thickening Balm first. You always want to apply this to the hair before you apply any other product if you're mixing it with anything. So it gets into the hair shaft, and it'll plump the hair from the inside out. So you want this to be the first thing that you apply to the hair. And then I'm going to section, and then I'll start to apply the setting spray as I work. So we're going to take a small triangle from the crown area, and then we're going to take a vertical section down from that and clip our sides out of the way. Okay, so we're going to start off spraying the entire section down with setting spray. We're going to do a traditional rope braid, which is 2 sections twisted in the same direction, but then crossed over in the opposite direction. So coming through, have your comb on hand, because you do want to keep this nice and clean. You're going to just marry it into the other 2 sections, twisting them to the left and crossing them over to the right. So once you get to the perimeter, you're going to continue the same thing. You just want to really make sure that you get it really tight at the nape. Taking my elastic, and I'm putting it as close to the nape as I can. Reestablish your 2 sides, and then we're going to work, I'm going to work with the right side first, and then I'll move to the left. So working round with my sectioning, and I'm going to keep it very tight at the nape as I work around and I'm going to stop right behind the ear. So coming through, and I'll work with my comb as much as possible. Now I'm going to take my 2 strands here. Okay, now remember I've clipped the one side over to the left. So now I'm going to take both strands here and I'm going to twist them away from me. I'm going to do 2 twists. Twist, and now I'm going to wrap it towards the hairline. I'm going to do this one more time to make it nice and tight before I start adding any hair. And now when you add hair, you always add to the section underneath. Always to the section underneath. I always pinch, so I have my index finger on the underneath. Nice tight tension. My thumb is on top. It's holding those 2 sections together. The rest of my fingers are holding the other section. I'm going to marry these together with my comb. And now twist 1, twist 2. Make sure this guy is still twisted. And then wrap towards the hairline. Last section here. Bring it nice and tight. I don't know if you can tell the type of tension I'm putting on this, but it's very tight. And now you just want to wrap it one more time. We're going to come back to this and actually unravel it a little bit. But first we want to tie it off so that we can start with our front. Okay, so the back right side is done, and now we're going to move to the right front. Okay, so we have no product in the front, remember? So now we're going to apply the marine thickening balm from the cheekbone area down first, and then I'll spray the whole thing with the setting spray. So the braiding part, we're going to work with her eye as the focal point. So everything is going to be twisted away from the face, but then you're going to wrap it towards the face. Okay, so twist away, wrap towards. I'm adding the hair to the underneath section, twisting it twice, and then crossing it over towards the front. And the best part about working with this type of braid is that it's very forgiving. So if you need to go back 1 or 2, you can. And so now what I'm doing is I'm just looking at the 2 sides. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to marry these 2 together. So I'm going to take this elastic out, and the underneath section will become the top section here, and our underneath section here will become the underneath section on this side. So they're just going to switch places really. So you can take this elastic out. That's why you don't want it too tight. Okay, so here we go. Unravel. Okay, so so this is the top. So the underneath here, I'm going to bring it over to marry with the top on this side, and then the underneath on the front side will come over to the left. Okay, so it's okay if you need to comb these out a little bit so that it's nice and clean again. Pull them nice and tight. You're gonna twist them towards the back. So I'll twist my right so that I can let go of the left and comb it out. So I'm going to tighten it up. I'm going to twist to the back 2 times. And now I'm going to cross them over to the front. If it starts to get messy looking, comb it out. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so we're just spraying the setting spray on top, same thing as we did on the other side, and we're just going to move in the same style as we did previously. These 2 sections are going to be twisted away from the hairline 2 times on each side, 1, 2, then you're going to wrap them towards the hairline. We're going to do that 2 times. Wrap twice, okay? Now I'm going to take my next sections and I'm going to continue to work. Remember, on a slight diagonal. Continue in the same fashion until you run out of hair. Make sure that you don't drop your hand. Keep up very tight towards the hairline. Last section here. Again, adding it to the underneath. Twisting it 2 times. And then you're going to just tie it off, and we'll come back to it once we're finished with the front. So the front we're going to do the exact same way as we did on the other side, but we have to apply the product because there's no product in this panel. Marine thickening balm again. So I'm going to work from the cheekbone down. That's where we want the expansion to happen. We always apply the marine thickening balm first so that it can get into the cuticle and it can start to plump from the inside out. From there, I'm going to work with the setting spray, again, from roots to ends. Comb that through. And then we can begin. Okay, so now we're going to take a slight diagonal back section to about the corner of the eyebrow. Split this into 2. We're going to twist 2 times away from the face. 1, 2. 1, 2. And now we're going to cross the top over towards the face. Okay, let's do it one more time. 1, 2. 1, 2, away, cross over top, towards. Now we can just start to add hair a little bit at a time, always to the underneath section, the exact same way that we've been doing it, following the hairline, keeping as close to the hairline as you can. Okay, so now we're just going to marry it into my back section. So we're going to take the elastic out from the back section. Top on the back becomes bottom on the front, and then top on the front becomes bottom in the back. So now we have 2 sections again. We're going to marry them together. You definitely want to comb these together. And then you're going to twist to the back, 1, 2, 1, 2, wrap to the front. Just until you run out of density of the hair. So I'm going to work to about an inch and about 2 inches from the ends. Okay, my friends, we are finished with the set. I think it looks pretty cool. She can wear this for a few days, and then what's going to happen is when she's ready to take it off, she's going to be able to scrunch it and start to rake it out with her fingers. She's going to need to have styling balm and the dry texture spray on hand so that she can really start to finish it off, because you want beachy hair to look finished. That's the key to this very sexy look, is that it's not necessarily curling ironed in, but it actually looks, there's a bit of natural frizz to it, and then there's that little bit of inconsistency to it. But if you have a product that's going to polish it a little bit, that's what makes it look very special and very sexy. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, so just coming through, you can see I'm just starting to scrunch it apart. And I'm almost doing this with my fingers. Well, not almost, I am. So now I'm going to be working with our styling balm a very little bit. We can always put more and more if we need it, but start off with a little bit. Okay, and really emulsify it. You should have more like a buttery sheen on your hands. Okay, and then again, to start to come through, be very light-handed when you're working with this. And so, with it being flatter here, meaning like when we did the initial set, this hair was all flat, right? You want it like that because you still want there to be, it's almost like if you were undercutting, right? The reason that you would undercut something is to allow space for the hair on top to sit into, or to create definition somewhere. So we want to be able to flip this hair around. If we had this whole entire thing braided, she would be out to here, and it's not really flattering. So you want to still have a nice shape that works with her features. So that's why you want to do that really low to the hairline type of twist. Let me know if you've tried it. Let me know how it goes, and I hope you're all doing great. I'll see you next week.